as someone who watches all things related to the culture, I'm talking about movies, music. He's remarkably writes a column for the Marina Times, and he comes to us on a rainbow. Oh, yes. Michael Snyder, everybody. Come on. Hi, Michael.
Hey, hi, Alex. Oh, wait, you're not Alex. I thought I was on another show for a second because
you've been sleeping around with another show.
It's a Christmas miracle. Anyway, it's the most wonderful time of the year, Mark, when we finally have 2 weeks to watch everything backed up on our streaming services and our DVRs. Remember DVRs? Those were the good old days. But seriously, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noel. May I be the first to say, by the way, Happy birthday, Jesus. I just want to be the first person to say that.
All right.
And this is their new hoax.
I think it's pretty much set in.
I know. I've had a lovely holiday so far. I've been watching hour after hour of the hashtag butt slap chest jiggle sleigh ride dance challenge on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen this thing, but it's a little excerpt from the song Sleigh Ride, and scads of people are doing it, and I've become fixated on it. I know.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
I don't think it is a good thing.
All right, whatever.
What can you tell me about the new Matrix movie?
Oh, hell, I'll get right to that. You know, it's set, by the way, in San Francisco, shot partially in San Francisco, and had a big premiere at the Castro. But The Matrix Resurrections represents the fourth movie in a series, and it kind of, after 2 decades, resurrects this multi-level sci-fi franchise. And it's nowhere near as startlingly original and provocative as 1999's The Matrix that kicked it off, wherein the filmmaking Wachowski siblings introduced the concept of an interconnected real world and cyber world duality. But it is considerably better than the 2 previous rather misbegotten sequels that followed. That's damning with faint praise, of course. This is actually directed and co-written by Lana Wachowski on her own, this time without Lily. And it does have the benefit of absence making the heart grow fonder for returning leads Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss as the chosen couple, digital division, Neo and Trinity, who are supposedly destined to overcome the machines that have been enslaving us into thinking what we see and hear in our daily lives is true, when in fact, it's an illusion, and we are all actually stuck in pods floating through a techno nightmare dimension. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Anyway, when we encounter Neo and Trinity this time, they don't remember who they are. Get this, they are both trapped in a true hellscape, contemporary San Francisco. They think they're ordinary people.
Yeah, exactly.
The horror. Anyway, and the rents are still pretty bad. Anyway, this fourth go-round is filled with extended action pieces that are video gamey, more so than the other 3 movies. But, of course, it's 2 decades later, so the tech is better. And adding to the value, you do have kind of hindsight regarding the less than admired second Matrix and third Matrix films, with Reeves' character back from the dead and now a celebrity video game designer deriding the derivative copycat nature of popular culture.
Hang on a second. What do you mean a celebrity
he's like
game
well-known.
designer?
He's
well-known. Okay.
Highly esteemed.
Okay.
Anyway.
Go ahead, yeah.
So there's some snark about milking valuable intellectual property.
I see. Okay.
I get it. Anyway, so I wish this had been better, but I thought it was better than 2 and 3. And let me just say, honestly, you need to have seen the first and liked it. You don't have to have seen the second and third to even understand what's going on. And if so, this may appeal to you. And if not, you should probably stay away. In fact, get off the grid. Those machines will show you no mercy if they actually catch you. Ultimately, and let it be the ultimate one of these, The Matrix Resurrections suffers from a surplus of unintelligible bark and a little too much bite, as in B-Y-T-E. It's in theaters and on HBO
wait
Max.
a minute. I get the cute writing, Michael, okay? You're very cute as a writer.
Yeah.
But what does that mean, too much bark?
Well, there's a lot of jibber-jabber that makes little or no sense if you haven't been completely immersed in this thing.
So you need to have seen it, or you need
Isn't anybody but a weed?
Is that it? Do you need to be altered to see it?
No, then it'll be even more unintelligible.
Okay, go ahead. What's next? What's next?
Speaking of sequels and franchises, Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
Well, that was a part high-octane action action thriller and part spy spoof and all fun. And it took a downturn with its sequel, the rather strained Kingsman 2. But Matthew Vaughn, director and co-screenwriter of both, has returned to the IP, again, intellectual property, with a prequel, The King's Man, set primarily in the first few decades of the 20th century amid real historical events. It's intended to show the origin of the organization Kingsman, with Ralph Fiennes starring as an aristocrat who finds himself forced into action by life-changing circumstances, Jimon Honsu as his aide-de-camp, and Gemma Arterton as his right-hand woman. Although I found it better than the second Kingsman, again, which was a misbegotten trip to America, largely, that didn't work. It featured like Elton John thrown in there for, I don't know, star value. It was ridiculous. Anyway, the tone here is oddly uneven. It starts as what seems like, I don't know, a somber masterpiece theater period drama, and then gets a jolt from some creatively choreographed and shot fight scenes, and ends with this wild climactic face-off between our heroes and their adversaries that had me literally gripping the armrests on my seat. Fiennes, Hansu, and Arterton are compelling enough, even if it seems like their acting styles they're having a tough time kind of meshing with the scattershot elements of the script. But kudos to Rhys Ifans as Rasputin, the mad monk who was an early Kingsman enemy. I'm actually interested in seeing where this goes if Vaughn wants to follow these characters in the past after doing a modern Kingsman 3, which he's threatened. Then again, low box office receipts for this one may defeat other subsequent versions of Kingsman.
So this is the prequel you're saying?
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
Then the one that I liked was the one that
the first one is
everybody liked. Yeah,
the first one is wonderful. It's explosive fun. It's great. The second one, again, not so good, which was a sequel.
Okay.
The prequel is better, but still, there are issues. It's in theaters where the set pieces rocked if you can handle the tonal shifts, or wait for home viewing if you have a wall-sized monitor.
Okay, so what's next? I have the hourglass is the hourglass.
The clock is always ticking, brother.
Yeah,
continuing her run of phenomenal performances, Olivia Colman rules in The Lost Daughter, which is it's a rich and compelling and heartbreaking movie about a middle-aged university professor who, while taking it on the lam, she's got it's a slow. Okay, look, it's a solo holiday in Greece, okay? And the Coleman character becomes fixated on a mother and daughter staying at the same resort. And it turns into this haunting psychological study about the emotional costs of motherhood. Coleman,
she becomes fixated because she thinks they're so adorable, or because they represent something that she doesn't have, or what?
Well, you should watch it to see. But
give me some idea.
That's largely it. Look, Coleman is so good. She's adept at anything from situation comedy to police procedurals. She was in Peep Show.
She's the best. She's
Broadchurch, period dramas. She was in The Crown as Queen Elizabeth. But I have to say, this thing really popped. It's adapted from the novel by Elena Ferrante, and it's an impressive first feature directed and written by actress Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Wow. And
it also features, as the professor in her younger days, the wonderful Jessie Buckley. She is as superlative as Coleman here. And also Dakota Johnson and Ed Harris in critical supporting roles. Basically, this woman is confronting her past, dealing with her present, and fearful of her future, and it's all wrapped up in her relationship to her own daughters and her relationship to her mother. And very, very powerful. It's in select theaters and on Netflix this coming New Year's Eve. It's called The Lost Daughter.
Wow. Well, we're out of time, Michael, except for maybe a minute. Can you run through some quickies?
Swan Song, the second movie this year with that title, is a sci-fi-infused character study of love, loss, hard choices, and acceptance. Mahershala Ali in a beautifully realized dual role as a guy who's confronting terminal illness and his clone. It was really engaging to me. I thought it was worth checking out. Swan Song. I also would like to say the tragedy of Macbeth. I mean, is Shakespeare hot or what? A week ago, we had Steven Spielberg's Romeo and Juliet. West Side Story. And this weekend, we have Joel Coen's Macbeth. Joel Coen of the Coen brothers, the fraternal filmmakers from No Country for Old Men and many, many other films. And this is his own, without his brother Ethan, and he has delivered the tragedy of Macbeth, a very respectful and visually exciting version of Shakespeare's Macbeth, starring, of all people, Denzel Washington as the title character, who aspires to be King of Scotland in days of yore, when Brexit apparently wasn't an issue, and Joel's wife, Frances McDormand, as the conniving Lady Macbeth. It visually stunning. It actually reflected a lot of German expressionist vibes, and it was beautifully realized, unsettling interpretation of the source material, and very creative. You know, if you're not into this kind of thing, forget about it, but it's in theaters this weekend and streaming on January 14th, The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
someone did this to spoil our Christmas.
I don't know. I feel like I want to give you a ding for the reference to German expressionist vibes.
Oh, please. Come on. I am not some sort of smug academic here.
You're not, but there is smug academia that kind of enters some of your stuff.
It leaks through, huh?
Yeah,
well,
it does. Matrix Reloaded, you say...
no, it's called Matrix Resurrection.
Matrix Resurrection, you say... okay. I mean,
it's
a little bit. It's top heavy with
it's
stuff.
flawed. The one great thing you can say about it: shot partially in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that's going to be enough to get me to watch it. That Kingsman prequel. No, you're not crazy for it.
No, great set pieces, a lot of good action. I enjoyed watching it, but I can't say it was a great film.
The Lost Daughter you really liked.
Fantastic, powerful.
Virtuoso performances and a great script. Swan Song you think is interesting with a clone involved in a
that's sci-fi. Available actually on Apple Plus. By the way.
Oh, that's cool. And Tragedy of Macbeth. Wow. You liked it.
I thought it was well done. It's Shakespeare. It's not going to be to everyone's taste. And, what can I say? How do you argue with the bard, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, it has stood the test of time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. And, for Christmas, I'm going to watch Holiday Inn, my annual tradition of watching Holiday Inn with Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, and averting my eyes from the racism and sexism.
There is a racist segment there that I will not watch that movie again. But I get the charm of it, but it's pretty...
It introduced to the world of movies the song White Christmas, and...
That is true. It's a shame. They almost should... if it weren't a key plot point, you could cut out a certain part. But I did see Christmas in Connecticut last night, which is also a cloud.
I've been called nuts my whole life.
Yeah, all right. Michael, we really
You're down to 5% battery.
Way down. Oh, my God, we are way late. Listen, Michael, I appreciate this. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're looking forward to a year full of great reviews from you. Bye-bye, Michael.